Welcome back to the channel. Well, what I want to talk about today, if I can keep my lens clear enough to do it, is G-code holsters. When I first started carrying, I tried a myriad of different holsters, and you've probably seen some of them along the way, like this Don Hume leather holster here. Great holsters, but they left a little to be desired for my taste. That is, until I found G-code. Now, this is not sponsored or an advertisement for them in any way. I just want to put this information out there. If it can help somebody like it helps me, fabulous. I have 3 different G-code holsters. One for my Glock 26, my Glock 43, and I got one for my Glock 19 here. And it also happens to fit the Glock 22 or 17, any full-size Glock like that, because unlike the 26, so this one here just straight molded, the 26 is molded to the contour of the end of the gun itself. So that makes this one easier to carry the Glock 22, my 40 caliber police trade-in, on the rare occasion in the winter when I carry this one. For most times it's a little big for my taste in carrying. For me personally, in the winter, the Glock 19 is about as big as I want to carry. If you're familiar with Glocks, the nickname is the Block. It rhymes with Glock, obviously. So they can be a little bit bulky at times, I guess you could say. And that is one of the turnoffs to some people. Junk food zombie. I like them. They carry well for me. Most of the time, though, I'm carrying the 43. So what makes these holsters so great for carry, in my opinion? I've tried several different Kydex holsters. Now, granted, these aren't Kydex, from what I understand. They're a good bit thicker. I believe they are some injection molded plastic, polymer, something like that. But unlike a lot of the Kydex and other plastic holsters, they have this texturing on the side here. It's kind of like a suede or a velvety feeling. So when I carried in a Kydex holster before, an actual true Kydex holster, put it in my pants, and it just kind of slid and slipped around, and to get it to stay, I would have to tighten my belt to the point of not being comfortable. And granted, you don't carry a gun because it's comfortable, but you try to make it as comfortable as possible so you can carry every day. So with these, with the suede here, it helps hold it in place. I can run, jog, jump, whatever, and never moves around. And unlike the Don Hume leather holster, great holster, it does have some retention. Once you get the gun in there, it holds it securely in place. It ain't going anywhere. But with the Don Hume, once you do have it inside your pants, it'll hold it pretty secure. I've never really had an issue with it coming out, but that variable is still there. And unlike the Don Hume, with having these plastic clips here, they are angled, so it does kind of hold it against your body a little better. And it has the little notch here where it's not really ever going to come out. I know some people will say, plastic clips, you're going to rip it out of your pants, the holster's going to come flying out. I've never had that issue. In all my times out here practicing, drawing, training for a defensive scenario, pulling the gun out real quick, getting it on target, never had that happen. And with the Don Hume, it's a metal clip. It does hold it securely, but with that metal clip there, it would always rub holes into my shirts, especially when I would sit down and put pressure against that clip. So this, you have the possibility of rubbing holes in your shirt. I don't like that. Now, one downside to the G-code, they can be a little on the pricey side, but for a good quality holster, you're going to pay about what they cost anyway, whether it be Kydex leather, polymer, whatever. There are some that are cheaper, that are still good quality, but for the most part, you're going to pay about that price that they charge. Now, because they are fairly durable, this one for the 19, and it'll also hold the 22 or 17, whatever of that size, 23. I bought this one on eBay. I couldn't tell it had hardly been used. So you do find good deals on eBay with them every now and then. And G-code on occasion, Memorial Day, 4th of July, they're running a sale right now actually for 20% off. So you can find good deals on these from G-code themselves. And they do have some ready to go, already made. But if you want something custom, you want something for a gun that's not a Glock or an M&P, then it might take 6 to 8 weeks to get it. That is another downside. But one upside to buying one on eBay. And like I said, they're easy to draw from, easy to get on target with your gun, and easy to reholster. Unlike a leather holster, being polymer or plastic, it doesn't collapse. Now, a good quality leather holster will have a reinforcing band at the top, like my Don Hume does, but it still does squeeze in just a little bit. So if you're looking for a good quality holster, you can't go wrong with a G-code. Especially in my opinion. But if there is one downside, besides the cost factor, which I don't really consider that a factor, because if you're already buying a $500 plus gun, training, ammo cost, you don't want to put it in a cheap nylon holster from Walmart that you got for 10 bucks. That's when you're going to end up on the news for dropping it out of your pants in the movie theater or whatever. So if you're going to spend all the money on a carry permit, the gun, training, ammo, don't cheap out on a holster. Get a good quality holster that will retain your gun. But one downside, and this is true of pretty much any plastic polymer holster, you're going to get a little wear on your gun. But this is a tool. It's not a beauty queen, not a safe queen, so it's just part of the territory. It's a sign that you use your gun. If you're carrying your gun in a plastic holster, even a leather holster, and you don't have wear on it, and you've been carrying for a while, you're not practicing enough. Thanks for watching.